Wi-Fi's. Hey, but we don't need to see you.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
As if we don't make enough noise as it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. I've got to do Reachies and cross here, and I put Matt on the screen because say hi to the nice people, Matt.
Hello, nice people.
Yeah, that way I'm not reaching across and doing the usual Reachy crap. And well, and my mouse doesn't want to work, and that's the danger of doing live remote videos. We are live from Packy's Sports Grill here in palatial West Boca Raton. Loggers Run. You took me to Loggers Run. You take me to all the nicest places.
We are out here, aren't we? West Boca. That's my stomping grounds.
Like 55 feet that way, there's alligators and sawgrass. You know. I mean,
You know the middle school across the street. I was there the first year it opened. Loggers Run Middle.
And
Back in
you haven't
19.
improved.
I'm going to say it was 1983. I think it would have been. Wow,
He's old.
that's a long time. Yeah.
Okay, boomer. So
We got some good football today.
well, actually, we have playoffs.
Playoffs.
Yes, the playoffs. So going into the playoffs, going into the fantasy playoffs, not the actual NFL playoffs, but going into the fantasy playoffs, which, by the way, thanks for knocking me out last week, you bastard.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad about that too. Not really.
No,
but
you don't feel bad.
A little bit.
Stop
I did.
it.
For like
Stop it.
at least for an hour.
I would pull your man card if you felt bad. Don't you dare. You take me out.
Maybe
you
I wasn't.
take me out like I deserve to be taken out.
Maybe feeling bad wasn't the right way to go about it. I don't know. I felt sad. How about that?
Well,
sad for you.
But you look at that team. Okay, that team was the Super Chiefs.
Pretty much.
And you would have figured that if Patrick Mahomes had 3/4 of the year he had last year, not half, 3/4. Kelsey, 3/4. All I needed was 75% of that production from last season.
Right.
And I probably would have gotten the bye in the first round. I probably would have won 10, 11 games.
All right. Well, you know what, though? Be careful, though, because
I'm bitter.
The season's not over. Unfortunately for most, the fantasy season is over. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Patrick Mahomes has a big day today. And I think at the end of the year, he's going to have some gaudy numbers again. He missed some time. He was hurt, missed a few weeks.
Does he hoist the trophy?
You mean the MVP trophy or the Lombardi trophy?
NFL Lombardi Championship Super Bowl trophy, yes.
If their defense continues to play the way they played the last few weeks, then they've got a shot.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Well, it's mystified me because they've had the personnel on that defense, and I think it's just taken them a while. Is it Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator there?
Yeah.
It's taken them a while for them to really buy into the Jim Schwartz plan, if you will.
Well, they're getting healthy, too, and it helps. I mean, they've had a lot of injury minutes on both sides of the ball. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they have the honey badger. That's all you need.
Listen,
man.
Patrick Mahomes last year was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And now he's like the forgotten guy because everybody's all about Lamar. But I got news for you. That kid, Patrick Mahomes, can make every play on the field. He's still dynamic. I mean, it's just, listen, don't sleep on the Chiefs.
Oh, no, there's no sleeping on the Chiefs. I'm just extremely bitter that he did not throw 54 touchdown passes that he did last year.
We got, what, 4 weeks left? He's got a chance to get to 40-plus for sure.
Yeah.
I think he gets it. Listen, that game has some snow in the forecast today, which we'll hit on some weather later on, for all the games. But
we have lots of stuff.
Yeah, he's in a good spot today, and I think by the day's end, I think you're going to see Patrick Mahomes as top 3, top 4 fantasy quarterback today.
All right,
for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So, do we want to veer off into craziness, or do we want to get down to what is it on?
We're talking about aliens already. I mean,
not aliens.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought we were going aliens already. Because that's coming. We got time for that.
Crazier than aliens.
Yeah. You mean the other alien, New England? What's going on there?
Yeah. The rumor via PFT and via Bleacher Report is a speculation that if Tom Brady were to retire, or not retire, but not play for the Patriots, let his contract expire, not retire, want to move on and play somewhere else, a la Joe Montana,
Right.
that the most likely and the most logical place for him to end up is in Miami.
Wow.
Which would be
Sports gold.
hilarious.
Sports gold.
It would be fun. Who's not going to take the GOAT? Who's that? Nah, we don't need him. We don't need him for 2 years at the end of his career. Why would you?
2 years. He wants to play 5 more years.
Yeah, he wants to play. The guy wants to play till he's 50. I understand, but
I'm not a Dolphin fan, but assuming
Boy, are you not?
assuming the position of a Dolphin fan, hypothetical, of course. Why would the Dolphins be even interested in taking on Tom Brady, especially now? I mean, they.
Okay,
oh my
okay.
gosh.
This is the exasperated Dolphin fan side. All right, so here's the speculation. Okay, because I read both stories. Okay, system. He's familiar with the coaches. He helped develop the system. And it's a team with a lot of salary cap space, so that if there's an offensive line problem, they can go out and buy an offensive line.
Right.
Okay. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But they can go out and buy an offensive line. So it's not like he's going to be going in there and getting behind this offensive line that poor Ryan Fitzpatrick is running for his life for every day.
I just think teams
He needs a team in rushing.
like the Dolphins and other teams that have just struggled in mediocrity for so long.
Sure.
Are all they're looking for is direction. And now you got a coach, young guy comes in, again, a little rough at first because you're not winning games. That's just on paper. But now, getting rid of the bad seeds, getting everybody on the same page, you got some
Right.
talent. You got, free agents, rookies,
But
guys
he had
that
very similar situations in both Minnesota with Brett Favre and Kansas City with Joe Montana. You had very similar situations.
Right.
And I mean, the Packers even went so far as to refuse to trade Brett Favre within the division. He wasn't going to the Lions. He wasn't going to the any of the Bears or the Vikings. He was not going in there. So he had to go play a year in New York, show his ding dong to a poor reporter lady, you weirdo. I tell you, he's on the drugs again.
Wow.
And come on. Brett was a party animal. But then he went to Minnesota and he played 2 decent seasons, went out on his shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a big turnover away in the NFC Championship game from
he carried
going to
that
Super Bowl
Minnesota Vikings team on his back, literally, and went out on his shield, fractured vertebrae,
Yeah, he was a
broken
beast.
ankle,
Yeah.
torn labrum.
Yeah.
The guy was beaten down.
Right.
So in the history of the NFL, if you were to choose a guy that you would want to go to war with, he is one of those guys. He is. And Johnny Unitas is one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of those guys.
Right, but listen, like I said, from a journalistic and from that sort of perspective, sports gold. But I just still think the Dolphins and what they're trying to accomplish and getting behind the young coach and, again, getting rid of any distractions, I just think Brady, that sort of player, greatest of all time, better fits a situation where he comes to the team, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a scenario like the Steelers, because the blueprint is in place for success, and all you have there basically is just a missing piece. The Dolphins don't need a missing piece. They need pieces, and they need guys that are all going to buy into the same thing. So, again, you want structure, you want balance, you want consistency and direction.
Right.
Dolphins are doing that now.
Right.
And I don't know why you'd bring in something to upset the apple cart. It makes no sense. So
Does Terry Bradshaw let him wear number 12?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Probably not.
If he comes to Miami, does Bob Greasy let him wear number 12?
No chance. No chance in hell. So
No, that's Bob's legacy, if you will. He's he is number 12.
yeah.
So, all right. So, okay, we've gone past the crazy, and we did not actually slip into alien talk. So that's
Not yet.
that's a plus.
Soon.
I swear.
Give it time.
If I say the A word, he'll go off. The truth is out there.
It's coming.
Okay. So what's next on your slate?
The
actual factual material.
Well, just playoff push. We can talk about that. Obviously, Patriots are in the playoff push, even though they
Since
maybe
we were
locked
talking
in the
about
2
them in a
seed.
general way.
To me right now, it doesn't matter where the Patriots finish. It's going to matter what they look like the next couple of weeks, and people are going to say, they're going to be the same team as last year or the last 10 years or
Did
15
they finish
years.
against the Dolphins.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Now, they got the Bengals today. The Bengals have packed it in. They're done. But I think that game's close and ugly for some weird reason. I don't know why. I just think the Patriots are struggling. So that's a close, ugly game. Now,
Well,
next
they're playing
week.
for Andy Dalton because Andy's the leader of that team, and Andy Dalton told Taylor what's up.
Right.
As simple as that. The new coach came in, thought he was going to harumph everything around, thought he was going to take the guy who's been leading the team for a decade, take him off the field, and it backfired on him.
Agree.
Okay? It backfired on him hard.
But that team's been, the Bengals are a whole different disaster. They've been that way for, again, 100 years as
yeah,
well.
as long as the Brown family owns that team, they're going to be bad.
Yeah. So, but, in terms of what the Patriots, next week they got the Bills at home. And I got news for you. They lose that game. The Bills are a better football team. So, and then they have the last game of the season. I remember looking at the schedule.
The Bills are playing the Steelers tonight. By the way, they flexed that to the night game, the primetime game.
Yeah, that's an interesting. That's a good game too. We can talk about that too. Yeah.
No matter all the offensive stats and how high-powered offenses rule the day, it's always a good defensive war that seems to turn people on.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I mean, because you take a look at the Super Bowl. For me, the Super Bowl was kind of unwatchable. Okay, it was a defensive battle. It was defense.
They tend to get that way. I think it is part of that way is because teams are coming out kind of feeling each other out a little bit, especially early on. So, but now later in the season in terms of defensive games and maybe lower scoring games because you got weather concerns. You got a lot of games that are in crappy
Super
weather.
Bowl, Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh said the line of scrimmage between the tackles is off limits. And the Patriots kept trying it. That's the reason why they only scored 13 points. They kept trying it. Eventually, in the fourth quarter, they stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, because the two of them decided none shall pass, and none did pass. They did. I think the stat for the Super Bowl was like -2 yardage, -2 yards. Runs between the tackles, like 15 carries for -2 yards.
They locked
between
it
the tackles.
down.
They said nothing. You get nothing and like it.
Locked it down.
So defensive war tonight with your Steelers. Fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
And for the Bills, trying to keep pace with those sagging, lagging, seemingly aging Patriots.
Again, it's going to be interesting to see. Today is a tough gauge because the Bengals have packed it in. So, I mean, what script can you write? Patriots win by 20. Does it change your opinion of the Patriots?
I don't think
they win by 7. Does it change your opinion of the Patriots?
I really don't think they've packed it in.
I think the Bengals.
They played well last week.
Okay,
I mean, they're out there. They're putting in the effort.
At every position,
we got Kim on video.
At every position on the field, the Patriots are better. So, hi Kim, welcome to the show. So anyway, the Patriots are who they are, and with some decline perhaps, and I guess we'll start to see that a little more so in the next few weeks. Next week's the big game, home against the Bills, huge. That's going to make it
huge.
That'll tell you who they are. So,
huge Ian. What you got next?
Playoff push. There's other teams. Obviously, they're fighting for teams. You mentioned the Steelers and Bills tonight.
Playoffs.
That's a pretty good game. Hey, playoffs. Steelers are a pretty good surprise right now.
We got a peanut gallery over here forming, and I tried to bait them into saying playoffs. They all looked at me like, "Shut up! I'm ordering food."
They're welcome.
Food's really good here, by the way. If you're listening, you're watching this right now, get your ass down here. Join the half a dozen or so people that are already here. It's lots of space. No, you can't sit next to me because if you do, I'm going to want one of your chicken wings. So we'll see you here. It's 11357
West Palmetto
Park Road.
Yeah,
I know because I typed that out about 5 times for my promos. So yeah, come on out, man. It's a cool place by all means. We're not going to stop doing the podcast for you, but you come down and eat anyway. So what you got left?
Again, just more playoff push stuff. Steelers Bills tonight. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably wear a cup and a helmet for that because that's gonna be a slobber knocker.
Physical.
People are gonna get hurt.
Physical game. Yeah.
People are gonna get hurt. I mean, you're looking at two teams with not only physical defenses but physical offenses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, third string offenses for the Steelers. It's amazing story.
First of all, let me say right now that Mike Tomlin is coach of the year. He is coach of the year. Yeah, I'm going to jinx it. Sure, I'm jinxing it.
Well, no, listen. No.
Don't cringe. He is the coach of the year.
The reason why I cringe, I'm a big Steeler fan. We were ready to just write him off. Even up to 3 years ago. This, by far, is his biggest performance to this point.
Well, let me tell you, okay, and not to drop any curse bombs or anything, but he has made chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Oh, no question.
Okay,
no question.
I wouldn't say that the trade that he made for Minkah Fitzpatrick really robbed the Dolphins because it was something that needed to happen for both teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Minkah was a guy who did not want to be part of a rebuild process that he knew was going to take 2 years out of his career.
And the Dolphins
wanted to get on with it.
Wanted 36 and 37 draft picks next year that they have, so they got a lot.
I think we're on like 17.
Yeah, you got a ton.
You
got a bunch.
But it was something that needed to happen, and boom, your defense became an entirely different animal.
Yeah, well, the linebackers
When
are
he
running
came in.
wild right now because you've got protection on the back end.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about over the top.
Yeah, for
They-
sure.
when linebackers can play with everything in front of them.
Yeah, well, T.J. Watt could
I'm
win
gonna
basically.
end up eating this table
Wow,
to
that's a
watch,
lot.
but yeah, I rock and roll.
T.J. Watt could lead the AFC in sacks this year. I mean, it's just the Watt family. That's a hell of. Those parents could put out some ends,
They
huh?
got more kids in the pipeline now.
Yeah.
You know, you got the Watt family and the BOCA family. They're just farting out kids, and the Edmonds family.
That's another
Farrell,
one too.
former Miami Dolphins tight end Farrell Edmonds has got 3 sons, including all 3 of them are playing tonight.
Yeah.
All 3 are playing. Two on the Bills and one on the and one on the Steelers, or is it 2 on the Steelers and 1 on the Bills?
1 and 2, 2 and 1, I think. 2 on the Bills, 1 on the Steelers.
Okay. There's something filthy in there, but I'm not going to say it.
We didn't talk about the Ravens and what they're continuing to do.
We're going to get to the Ravens. Trust me.
He's pretty much locked up MVP.
Yeah. Well, listen. You're looking at, and the conventional wisdom says he's not going to be able to run forever like that. Okay, you look at running shortened Michael Vick's career. It wasn't the dogfighting; it was the running. Okay,
Right.
Because when you're an average passer with a strong arm, but you're an average passer, you have average accuracy. Okay, yes.
Does she need a microphone?
I guess, right?
You may want to give her one.
This is like the 3rd time that we've done this, but you're an average passer, and you rely on your legs a lot. You're going to end up like a guy like Michael Vick, okay, without the dogfighting.
Right.
And you're going to your value is going to fade.
I'm going to
Now-
soften my stance on this a little bit
What's
because
that?
I was originally the guy that was like, no way, bad choice, not going to last, long-term investment. Why are we so concerned about long-term investments anymore in sports? They never work out. These long
Right,
contracts, all
right.
these other things that we're paying for, back ends of these deals never turn out
Well,
positive for the
everybody wants to be Tom
franchises.
Brady. Everybody wants to play 20 years.
If you had that crystal ball that you could take a Lamar Jackson type guy, which by the way, he's opened the door for a lot of guys like him now, coming in college and certainly into the NFL. You can say the landscape's changing, but what's wrong
Jalen
with a
Hurts,
franchise?
Jalen Hurts. Chris Greer, if you do not draft Jalen Hurts with your 2nd draft pick in the 1st round, I'm going to get my tattoo removed.
What's wrong with a franchise making an investment in a quarterback like Lamar Jackson where they know his shelf life is only 4 years? Here's the deal. 1, okay, give me the Super Bowl. Let's say they lock it up within 4 years. You'll take that, right? Plus, by the time his 2nd contract comes up, you don't have to pay him because maybe he's hurt.
I would give him. Listen, I would give him 7 years.
Okay.
I would put a 7-year tag limit on. So you have him for the first 4 on the rookie contract.
Exactly.
Okay. So you get to year 3 and he's settled in. Maybe year 3. Remember, this is year 2 for him.
Right.
Okay. You get to year 3, still the same level of production.
Right.
The injuries haven't piled up. You maybe are contending for another Super Bowl.
Well, my thing
once
is-
you get to year 4, if he wins a Super Bowl in this year or the next year, okay, he gets an extension.
Right.
Okay, if I'm the GM, he gets an extension. He gets at least 2, maybe 3 years, and you lock him down, and then you get all the prime years in his career. And then, God forbid he takes a nasty injury. You got to be cold about that when you're a GM.
My point is, though, is that why worry about mortgaging the future when you don't have to necessarily worry about the future and sort of going to a more of a win now mentality? Again, if you've locked something up like that, nobody's catching up to this kid right now. I mean, they're blowing through everybody. And it seems like, scheming-wise, that they're one step ahead of every defense in the NFL. The Bills slowed them down a little bit.
Right.
But they beat every contender. They beat every best team in football. And they beat them handily.
Well,
so
that
clearly
Ravens
things are
staff
working.
is also pretty excellent.
The coaching and what he's done. You mentioned Tomlin being coach of the year. I think for me it's Harbaugh. I mean, what they've done with Lamar Jackson, with that team direction, I mean, that team looks unbeatable right now. But my point is that why take such stock in 5 years from now, 7 years from now, when if you know you can build something that you can win in 2 years, why would you even have to worry about what the hell 7 years from now is going to bring? They've got something. They've got gold right now. And they can not worry about 5 years from now when they're going to win now. Sell it now, build it now, and if you got to blow it up in 2 or 3 years, you do it again. The landscape's changing, and you got a lot of guys out there in college, like I said, and even high school now. You got receivers that are going to be playing quarterback soon because you got guys that can fit that prototype.
We can start them off. We can start them off at a baseline of 50% accuracy.
I mean, whatever it
and
is.
then we'll coach them up.
Yeah, we'll build a scheme and an offense around speed and deception and let defenses catch up.
Right. Well, and we were discussing this pre-show that when we were discussing the whole Tom Brady coming to Miami thing, what happens with Josh Rosen. And the word with Josh Rosen is that one of the reasons why they shut him down wasn't necessarily over horrible play. Yes, it's bad play because he is a different type of quarterback for this system. And they've been trying to teach him all along. So shutting him down basically is saying, we're going to help you change your mechanics and your style, because he was a high percentage, 63, 64% pocket passer, okay, who learned to run for his life in Arizona. Let's face facts.
Well, what it is, too, is they realize the pieces they have for the system they want to create for him, they just don't have right now.
Right.
So there's no reason to put a guy like that out there.
Why get the kid killed?
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
I mean, well, that's what his coach did in Arizona, is just hung him out to dry. He's like, oh, I'm not playing quarterback. So he's like, I don't have anybody else.
Yeah, and you know what?
This is the hot shot.
Listen, here's another point, too. Part of the reason why I think a lot of these quarterbacks that come into the NFL aren't successful is because the situations they come into suck. I mean, think about it. Teams with the first pick, the third pick, the sixth pick, these teams are there for a reason, because they suck. So you're in there taking quarterbacks, putting you behind bad offensive lines. You're losing, you're in teams that don't have skill position players. So how are these quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, supposed to be successful early on? It's tough. It's real tough. So maybe you're fortunate if you drop to late in the first round, because, like, for instance, the Chargers need a quarterback. Who lands that job next year? I'd rather have that quarterback that falls into a spot with good ownership, good coaching, skill position players, 2 running backs that can run the football.
Well, you started off on the wrong foot right there with Los Angeles. I mean,
wherever the hell they are.
St. Louis.
You know what I mean.
London.
What did I say? The Chargers. Where the hell are they?
Chargers, whatever, the Lightning Bolts.
Yeah.
Because Alex Spanos has got to be one of the top 5 worst owners
skill
in
position
professional sports.
Yeah. Well, you're right. He is bad. Well, I mean owners. I mean, in terms of the direction for the franchise, they've got skill position guys. So they got guys that can.
Who's a worse owner in pro sports? Daniel Snyder or Alex Spanos?
Knicks.
I didn't even get a chance to get to him.
Over. By far. By far.
Yeah. Horrible.
How could you have one of the greatest arenas in sports, one of the greatest histories in that sport in basketball, and be so bad for so long?
Dolan. Bum.
That's what I'm saying. So it starts at the top.
Yeah. Well, of course, if the brain is rancid.
I mean, listen, the NBA is pretty good right now, but how much better would it be if the Knicks were viable? I mean, you'd have an established powerhouse in the East, which you don't have. It's not Toronto. I mean, Kawhi's gone, so.
Silver.
Who's it going to be? The Sixers?
Silver's got to be pulling what's left of his hair out of his head.
Yeah.
That, he's got 2 major market teams in Brooklyn and New York. And Brooklyn is okay. What are they, 500 right now?
Well, no Durant. Next year is a different story.
They have the other superstar. They'll probably get another superstar.
Well, Irving's been hurt all year, and they're better without him.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Who could have known that, Boston?
Well, that was coming too. Irving's a joke, in my opinion.
He's not a joke. He needs a strong coach.
He needs a lobotomy is what he needs.
He needs a strong coach, and he needs somebody to keep him in line.
They need to put his brain in a jar and then test it, and
once
then
he
put
gets,
it back in.
Once he gets Kevin Durant there, you got to understand, Kyrie is the strongest number 2 guy in the NBA.
Okay.
He is the strongest second banana in the NBA.
Okay. And Kevin Durant may not be the strongest one in the NBA.
But
I would
the
debate
two of them
that.
will be much better together.
Are we talking basketball? What the hell are we doing right now?
What the hell is wrong with you?
By the way, I think we got
the coffee.
We got 80 days till pitchers and catchers report. 80.
He knows this.
I have an app on my phone that's running a consistent clock telling me when they're going to show up. So, yeah, we're close. Where are we at?
All right, what's next on the agenda? We're coming up on injury report time. 7 more minutes.
I've got a couple of guys we'll get back. I got some guys that I know they're in, know they're out, but we'll cover it when we get back. What do we got today? We got basically guys that what's the important story today? What about the Packers? Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. You think they're home to the Bears today? And
it's like the 245th meeting of the Bears and the Packers.
About
and they're
that.
Like tied.
I don't even know. But clearly the Packers have owned the Bears over the last several years, especially in Lambeau. Yeah.
Well, I'm agonizing over a choice between defenses, actually, because I have the Packers defense in against them in my semifinal playoff game. And I have a choice between them or the Eagles going against the Redskins today.
Don't like that at all. I like the Packers at home today.
Yeah.
The thing about this too, everybody's not everybody, but people are like, oh, the Bears, a couple of weeks. Wow, the Bears suck. Why? Because Trubisky sucks. He still sucks. In Lambeau, that's a tough spot today for any quarterback. Weather, not so much of a concern. Cold, but that's just normal Green Bay weather.
Because the weather outside is weather.
And it's Mitch Trubisky. I mean, it's just, and the Packers defense looked good earlier on in the season. We're putting up gaudy numbers,
looking good and looking better,
getting healthy on the linebacker core a little bit now. So,
well, the big thing is that the Packers are going back to running the ball down people's throats.
Yeah, so Aaron Jones will be a big factor today, for sure.
They're racking up the possession time of possession is really starting to get racked up with them. So that, if you only put your defense on the field 21 minutes in a 60-minute ball game, they're only on the field 21 minutes and they're getting a bunch of 3-and-outs, and then your team takes it and at least runs 5 to 8 plays.
Yeah,
you're going to wear a team out.
I'll say this too about the Packers too is if the Packers want to be a contender, these next couple of weeks usually tells a story about teams that you can see building momentum going into the playoffs.
It's the grind time.
And again, the Bears
now
suck, and the Packers are in a good spot at home, and they're healthy too. Adams now for a few weeks been playing. I think Aaron Jones plays a big part today. I think the defense steps up today, and I think the Packers handle the Bears pretty easily today. So,
quick reminder from Pete Kokoris. Where did he go? He went outside. He left. Oh, he went in search of beer. Sorry, too early. Pete has reminded us that we have the final game at home for the Oakland Raiders today versus the Jaguars.
That's correct.
That's a nice tomato can for them to kick around.
That's correct.
Because the Jags are a slow
They're
burning
done
dumpster
too.
fire.
Wow, they've packed it in too.
Yeah, that's where Ron Rivera's going.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
If Ron Rivera is going to be in Jacksonville, mark my words, he doesn't want to go to the West Coast. He doesn't want to go to he doesn't want to go to the Midwest.
Somebody's getting a really good coach.
Really good coach. And it's a talented young football team. It really is. They're gonna get rid of a few free agents. The Ngama Chachu, whatever the guy, the edge rusher, he's going to want $1 gajillion. He's already been tied to the Dolphins as one of the guys they want to go after. So he's going to be out of there.
All right, Minshew's not the answer. People are Minshew mania.
I love the mustache. Stop it.
He's not the answer.
It. You could grow a mustache like that.
I don't think I can. I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed.
I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed.
And we get the ironic laughter from off in the wings.
Yes.
Like, yeah, dude, damn right.
Not allowed. By the way, Carl checking in from Jacksonville. Hello, Carl. Carl's a regular. He likes our show.
That's the name in Sling Blade where somebody dies after they ask.
He's asking me
Carl?
right now, Amari Cooper or Jalen Ramsey?
Jalen Ramsey. Wait, what? What? Oh, individual defensive player?
Yeah, well, versus Jalen Ramsey. I'm sorry. That's right. Versus Jalen Ramsey.
Oh,
well, wait,
okay.
let me check my glasses. Yeah, they're on. Or Mike Williams. Carl, please help me out, buddy. Okay, I'm in the playoffs, and I got a question. Would you play Amari Cooper versus Jalen Ramsey, or I got 3 others to choose from: Mike Williams, Chargers, A.J. Brown, Tennessee, or Darius Slayton with the Giants? I'm not playing any a lot of wind. By the way, weather. We got to get to weather. We got weather problems today. 2 games. We got weather concerns.
Are you gonna do a weather report?
I got weather stuff. Yeah.
Can we get to like a green screen?
I don't need that.
You can do like the Bill Murray thing in Groundhog Day, where you go.
Whatever you want me to do, I'll do.
No, you won't.
Well, that's true.
No, you won't, because that involves like wigs and funny
bad
glasses.
Statement. All right, we'll get to whether we come back. Okay, so question from Carl. Basically, it's going to be Amari Cooper, or looks like A.J. Brown, or Darius Slayton.
Okay. I really like A.J. Brown, first of all. He's red hot.
Tannehill has been throwing the ball downfield.
And he is a monster. Have you seen the size of this kid?
He's big, and he's got separation skills, too.
6'4", 230.
Yeah. Can we talk about Tannehill real quick?
He knocks people over.
73% completion percentage so far this year. He leads the league right now in passing yards per attempt. He's like over 12.5 yards per attempt. He's killing it. They're throwing the ball downfield. They're setting the ball. They're setting play action with Derrick Henry, and they're taking shots downfield. And why? Because you're getting single coverage on the outside, because you got to be respectful, because you got 8, 9 guys in the box trying to protect Henry, or trying to cover Henry, who's a beast. They're doing it right now. They got a quarterback.
7 years, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told all of you, I told everybody for 7 years. I said the kid's got a live arm. He's talented. He's smart.
Yeah.
He doesn't make the same mistakes twice. But no, you kept a steady rotation of the latest fad offensive mind to come in and fix this guy. And more increasingly complex, bullshit offenses. Bill Lazor looking right at you, Bill Lazor. You suck. Okay,
well, smarts wasn't the issue. The kid, he reads defenses.
Bill Lazor's the one that ruined him.
Well, Tannehill came in the league. He was what, like 36 when he came in? He was a 36-year-old rookie.
Yeah, he's a 36-year-old rookie.
So
super
smart,
wide receiver,
really smart guy too. So yeah.
And he was running. Listen, he was running RPOs before they became popular.
Yeah.
He was running RPOs before.
Still
they became
mobile.
popular.
Kid can run. Kid. What is he now? 50. How old is he now?
50, yeah,
50 something. Trying to do the math real quick.
Like
in the league,
age,
8 years, came in 30. Okay, so.
Yeah, we're looking at the Rich Gannon of this generation, okay, the David Craig of this generation, a guy who toiled at his original franchise in mediocrity and got hurt and got injured, and the minute he beat town, the minute that Rich Gannon left Minnesota and went to Kansas City initially, and he got in and he got PT, and he had 2 great years in Kansas City. He got them to the playoffs, and everybody said, where's this Rich Gannon coming from? And then he went to Oakland, and he only got them to 2 AFC championships and a Super Bowl. Only. That's all he did. I mean, that's all he could do.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know what? I'm going to wear my Tannehill jersey next week. You watch. Ryan Tannehill, I've been telling people for years that it's been the organization's fault, and they dropped the ball on him. And the minute he's gone, look what happened.
He's playing pretty well. Well,
I saw it in the preseason. I said
that game today is for the division. So, I mean, Houston, now granted, Deshaun Watson on the other side, I think, is a better quarterback overall, but the way the system's set up right now.
Than a lot of quarterbacks overall.
But lately their offensive line has been what it was the first few weeks of the season, and certainly the last few years because he's been running for his life. But on the Tennessee side of the ball, they're in a great spot today. And I think the way Tannehill's been playing, they got great coaching. Derrick Henry's running the football. They're playing good defense. They're in a great spot. They can take control of their own destiny today.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So very interesting.
Big Derrick Henry fan. He carried my Danny's Dirty Dozen team.
Yeah,
carried it.
I do want to go back.
I would have ended up 4-9 if it wasn't for that guy.
We're going against the break, I know, but I want to throw one thing out there. This is going to be our telltale sign of where Brady goes. Okay, wherever Chase McDaniels buys property, that's where he's going to go. Because I think he takes him with him. Because I think those guys are married at the hip. And I think both of them turn around, they drop their pants as they walk out the door, and they both, a moon for Kraft and a moon for Belichick together in unison. Boom, Christmas cards, take that. So it's coming. So wherever Chase McDaniels buys property.
You mean Josh McDaniels.
I say Chase, great.
Chase,
Josh McDaniels. They're all related.
Some Generation X man.
Wherever Mr. McDaniels and his family relocates to, that's where Tom Brady will be playing next year. So keep a close eye on Willow and some of the other markets that are out there.
Yeah, but but Daniel is.
They're going together.
He's only going to take a head coaching job.
They're going together. No, wherever Brady goes, that's where he's going to. So no question. Those guys are married at the hip. Those guys are buddy. Those guys, they travel together. They do everything together. Their families are intertwined.
Saltiness.
I'm just saying they're coming, and it's the same trip. They're going one way, wherever that is. That's where they'll be together next year.
All right. Well, now that we've come full circle in the discussion of the craziness of Tom Brady, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the injury report and something that he has yet to show me. I'm going to grill him on the break. But me and the Maz, Gonzo Radio Sports Desk, coming right back right after this. Yeah, that's my face in the picture. Why, you got a problem with it?
No, but whoever else watching it
You over
probably
here
does.
face shaming me for crying out loud?
Gold.
Oh, it's what?
Steelers are black
No,
and
no,
gold.
Well, you just go right ahead and have a conversation without me.
Talking to
Welcome
you.
back to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. We have we have been derelict in our duty to actually answer a question.
Yes, I'm sorry, Carl.
Because we were in a big hurry to get to the break so that we could check out the injury report. But go ahead and answer. Which one was it, Carl? Carl's question?
Carl's question was either A.J. Brown or Amari Cooper or Darius Slayton. Now, we're getting away from the Giants game, which I mentioned, which we'll get to because weather is a concern in that game. There's a lot of wind today in New York, 20-mile-an-hour sustained, 30-mile-an-hour gusts, yuck, yuck, yuck. Wind is a real factor in throwing the football, not a good one, so not really, not big on. Yeah, so today is a big Saquon day. So it's basically A.J. Brown or Amari Cooper. Now, we pumped Tannehill about how good he is and how good the team is and throwing the ball downfield. And A.J. Brown's a guy that can go berserk. He can get you 5 for 120. We've seen it in 2 scores. But target-wise today, Amari Cooper, Dallas has to get right today in that spot against the Rams. They have to.
All right. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the over-under on his catches?
Amari Cooper?
Just his receptions.
Amari
not
Cooper?
Targets, not yardage, not touchdowns.
I'm going to give you his line. I'll give you the whole line today for Amari Cooper.
Oh, you want to give me the whole line?
Amari Cooper goes 8 for 110 and a score.
Woo, am I taking the under on that?
Drop. Boom.
Well, that's...
Is that loud enough?
Pick it up again. Go ahead.
Do two.
Double
Boom.
pen drop.
Yes.
I'll take the under.
Okay, fair.
I'll take the under for whatever's in my wallet.
How much you got in your wallet?
It's probably about $60-70.
I don't want to do that.
I gotta go have breakfast. But
that should cover it, by the way.
I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's so expensive to eat these days. Have you been to breakfast lately? Seriously, I mean it's ridiculous. Denny's is off the chains good, but it costs a lot of money. So, sorry. I didn't even throw you there.
I didn't say anything dirty. I just went.
I didn't. You guys all assumed such negative things. I have nothing but love for all of you. So.
Fat jokes.
All of you.
Fat jokes like I'm Lizzo or something.
I would not suggest that.
I may be wearing the same G-string, though.
It's awkward. Yeah.
Well, at least I didn't curse. I just said...
Yet.
Give me time. So go ahead.
So anyway...
I have to cough.
You threw me off.
I'm choking on that one.
You threw me off with the whole thing.
It was your fat joke.
I know we were off the rails.
Follow up your fat joke with another one. Punchline. You got to have a laugh every 5 seconds.
Are we talking about aliens yet?
A.J. Brown.
Yeah, to me, I don't know. To me, it's targets. And I think Dallas is going to put up points today. And I think, obviously, Cooper's been quiet somewhat the last few weeks. If Dallas gets right today, and I think they will offensively, it's Elliott, it's Cooper, and it's going to be a big day. Dallas is desperate. They've got to play well today. And their defense is terrible. So you got to think the Rams is going to score.
Is enjoying a career renaissance. He and Marcus Peters are both enjoying a career renaissance.
Yeah.
Okay. You check Jalen Ramsey's numbers. He's the reason why that defense is legit now. Again, legit. Okay. Simple as that. He is the reason because a third of the field, their top wide receiver is done. So I'm going to say 4 catches for 65 yards.
Okay.
And if he's lucky, he might get a touchdown. Maybe a touchdown.
Okay.
But I'm going to say 4 for 65.
Okay.
He is done. They're going to target him 10 times. He's going to get 10 targets. 4, Amari, 4. You're going to get 4.
20, what I say?
Going to shut you
8
down.
for 110, that's 19. The bonus is 3, is 20. The touchdown is what, 4 or 6 in most leagues. So 6.
Touchdowns, 4.
26 fantasy points today for Amari Cooper, PPR format. Boom, 2 pen. I need 1 more pen. I need 3 pens.
No, only
3 pens.
Getting 2.
I dropped 3.
Here, maybe a coffee lid.
All right,
Try
coffee
one of
lids too.
those,
Boom, 3 pens. So
and a
26.
coffee
What did I
lid.
say?
Ooh, that's a
26
little
fantasy.
flashy.
Can we rewind? 26 fantasy points today for Amari Cooper. Yeah, and Dallas wins the game. How about that? Yeah. Ooh.
Dallas wins the game. Sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
You know what? I mean, I don't know. I made the prediction, but I kind of want to see almost Dallas lose the game now, just because I want to see Jerry Jones and his reaction. What's there left to say?
Let me ask you a quick question. Which team has more haters, Dallas or New England?
You mean for the organization or within the organization?
Haters of the organization.
I'm going to say the Patriots because the Cowboys haven't been relevant for so long. So and the Patriots have been winning, and everybody hates the villain, and they're the villain, and they're the winners. So it's probably the
Evil
Patriots.
Empire.
And down here, it's clearly the Patriots because of the Dolphin fans and everything else. So
Oh no, we gave that up a long time ago. We're the oppressed.
yeah.
We're the oppressed. We're the only thing. Oh yeah, good football team. Yeah. How's your beach?
You know what?
We troll them with our weather.
Do people really hate the Cowboys at all? I mean, I know.
Oh my God, so many people
Really?
hate the Cowboys. Stop
It's
it.
passe. You see, they used to be America's team. Nobody refers to them as
That's
that
part
anymore.
of the reason why people hate them.
But our generation referred to them as that. The newer generation doesn't know
All
that
right,
exists
all right.
because they are not even viable.
Let's stack them up. Okay, you have the Patriots and the three teams that are in their division, which
Right.
are in Buffalo, New York,
Right.
Miami, Florida,
Yeah.
and
The Jets.
New York,
Yeah,
New York.
Two New York teams.
Okay. Hang on. New York, New York.
Yeah.
Okay. Giants fans don't like them because they troll them. Ha ha, we beat you. We kept you from being perfect and winning the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Raiders fans hate them because of the Tuck rule, because that was a Super Bowl team and the Patriots screwed them. Actually, they kind of screwed them twice. Okay. So there you have 5 fan bases that hate them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you look at the Cowboys. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Redskins. Okay, 3 major markets, 3 huge fan bases. Also add the Oakland Raiders, because Oakland Raiders fans hate everybody but the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Okay. Also add San Francisco 49er fans, because they're a bunch of entitled yahoos anyway.
But I think the fan base dynamic is changing.
There's more fan bases.
Right, what I'm saying is I think the fan base dynamic is changing. It's a little younger. It's not the dinosaurs like we are watching football, holding on to our teams and our grudges. It's not like that anymore, I think, for the most part in sports. I think it's younger, it's quicker, it's what's today and not tomorrow. And so,
like a
and
good
certainly
grudge.
yesterday, nobody has any memory anymore. I can't forget where the hell I
I still
parked.
hate Clarence Davis.
Yeah, so I have
Remember
no.
Clarence Davis? Remember what he did to the Dolphins in 1974? No, I do because I was watching it on TV as an impressionable young child. I hate you, Clarence Davis.
I have memories too, but I think it's changing. I think overall
Look at the
it's
Steelers.
younger.
The Steelers hate the Patriots like crazy,
Oh,
too.
listen, my hatred is deep and rooted. But again, it's not. I'm not the norm. I'm not the average guy anymore for sports. Like I said, I think the landscape is changing. But younger, quicker, forget it. Me, and listen. Like I said, I don't remember where the hell I parked, let alone what I did yesterday or 3 weeks ago. Most people are like that now in sports. They want to be.
We're going to have to order food here really soon.
Yeah.
All right. So our injury report, any major injuries? I mean, I know Devontae Parker is cleared to concussion protocol, and he is cleared to play today.
Speaking of the Steelers, Connor's going to be suiting up tonight. He's playing. Derrick Henry's playing.
Playing for the playoff life, man.
Josh Jacobs is in today for the Raiders. He was questionable. I don't have any information yet on Damian Williams. That'll be important because that's a snow game today in Kansas City. And even though I think Mahomes has a big day, Williams can catch passes as well out of the backfield.
Kelsey's the only guy I care about from Kansas City anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Adam Thielen's playing today. Welcome back, Adam Thielen. So I guess they've got that, which again.
They've got to keep up with the Packers.
Yeah, they've got to win that game today, too. Devontae Parker's playing today.
Yay.
Edelman's been questionable since 3 years
By
ago.
the way,
He's playing today. Yeah, he's questionable. All of
New extension for Parker, by the way. 4
Yeah.
years, $40 million.
Yeah.
Very good. Good for you, young man.
He's not playing. So Damian Williams is not playing today. Evan Ingram out. Gerald Everett out. I'm sure he's been picked up already, but I guess Tyler Higbee's been the popular choice today at the Rams. So I think that game shoots out. Higbee's probably a good play. Greg Olsen also out today. Let's see. I think that's about it. And we're just waiting on maybe 1 or 2 more to drop. Those are the bigger ones that are going to be in, and those are the ones that are going to be out today. So
Okay, then.
Yep.
So there's no quarterback outs. There's no.
Oh, DJ Shark is also out. He's another one that
Out.
if you're into Jacksonville, and I'm not.
Well, that's my Danny's Dirty Dozen team that's out of the playoffs now. They're
Yeah.
just beat up. That's just a beat up team.
So those are the bigger ones that are out today, not playing, and there's 1 or 2 that are on the fence. So just you got till 1 o'clock. Just keep to the waiver and check it out and
Right on.
get your lineup set. Because if you're in the playoffs today, good luck.
Now let me ask you a question before we take it home and order food because I'm going to be hungry soon.
How much money you got in your wallet?
Don't worry. I'll take your money on that Amari Cooper.
I'm talking about if we have enough to eat too. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. Don't worry. I got enough.
Okay.
Before we go though, teams that you might want to speculate down the stretch going through your championship round. What are some players that would be picks that may be free agents right now that you see that could help you in a championship round type of situation? Are there any? Are there any left?
Again, it's going to depend on what happens today and injuries, too. I lost Mike Evans last week, very unexpected. Hopefully you're in a position where you've got some depth on your bench at this point. Some leagues won't even allow you to go into the waivers and pick up at this point, even if you're in the playoffs. Some do. I think one of ours does.
Football league.
Yeah. But in any case, listen, just pay attention to the waiver wires. Injuries are happening still, and today with weather concerns and some wind and some snow, there could be some pulled groins and etc.
Perriman's going to be a really Brett Perriman's going to be a really is it Brett Perriman?
Yeah.
Or Brett, is it
Brett Perriman? Yes.
No, is it Brett?
Rashad Perriman?
Rashad.
One of the Perrimans. Yeah.
Yeah. Rashad.
I think he was a
Perriman.
basketball player actually.
No.
Anyway,
but,
yeah.
Perriman.
Yes.
The
lineup in the 2 today.
WR3 is going to be lined up as WR2 today for Tampa. So
yes.
And he's been hot. He's been hot even when he's the WR3. He's been a big target for Winston. I have a very unflattering nickname for Jameis Winston, by the way.
Which is?
It starts with the letter F.
Oh.
And yes, it's that 4-letter word that I promised I wouldn't say on the show anymore.
Okay.
Followed by a hyphen and an O, so it's FO.
FO.
And if you watch me watching Red Zone, every time they show him, I immediately start the chant.
Do you use all the letters when you're home alone, or do
Yes,
you just do the F and the O?
I can't do it in public
Okay.
either. That would be there definitely would be somebody.
I just don't want you to cheat yourself of all that anger.
Can you read my lips?
Here's something you didn't know about the Steeler quarterback as a side note, if I don't mind throwing this out there.
Duck. The guy's name is Duck.
And why? Because at
He's a
13,
duck caller.
at 13 years old, he won the national championship for duck calling. That's why they call him Duck.
Backwards ass country duck.
Third string quarterback leading the Steelers today at home.
You know what's really funny?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I say Tomlin is the coach of the year. I think he is.
I would vote yes.
Well, of course you would vote yes.
Well, I've been critical too. Listen, like I said, I've been very critical of Coach Tomlin. But this year, it's magic. I mean, what they're doing and how they're doing it. Now, defensively, they're playing well, and they should. Yeah. I've said it all year. There's 7 first-round picks on the defensive side of the ball, and you added Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Okay, so the defense should be playing
the best
well.
Of the bunch.
Now, and again, going back to tonight's game, my only issue with tonight's game, and I don't like the spot we're in, is if you compare both teams, defensively, I'd say we're pretty even, but offensively, we're not. And I think those challenges could limit us tonight. We score on defense, we create short fields, and things can happen. Our defense can do that. We can win that way.
Right.
But it's a lot of pressure to ask your defense to win like that week after week.
Ooh, the bar's starting to fill in behind
It's coming.
us.
It's coming.
Dun, 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 dun. You can hear the shakers.
It's ruffling in.
You can hear the mimosas being shook up.
I'm going to look around at the bar real quick and see who's got fantasy relevance today and who's in their playoffs. And by a quick look, I'm going to say, no, these guys are just all drunks. So I don't think any of them play fantasy football.
This would be brunch enthusiasts. We don't call them Sunday drunks. They are brunch enthusiasts.
Okay, sorry. I don't be politically correct.
That's how you day drink.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
This is West Boca Raton.
Yeah.
This is brunching.
Gotcha.
We're brunching.
Gotcha.
And we're going to go join the brunch bunch.
No alien talk at all?
No aliens. No aliens. You're enough of an alien as it is. So, good luck with your fantasy game today. Who have you got going today in your fantasy team? And you're in the Danny's Dirty Dozen League.
My only dilemma, I felt like, because, again, I'm not going to go through my entire team, I was either going to start Amari Cooper or Matt Ryan. And I've decided to go with Cooper.
Oh, and hang on.
I'm sorry, with Dak Prescott.
Right. In the chat room, Lou, we're at Packy's Sports Grill, which is in West Boca, which is actually right down the street from my house. It's a nice place. I love all the wood paneling. It's a riot. So there. Now you know. Live from Packy's. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just my big dilemma was either going with Matt Ryan or Dak today, and I went with Dak because I'm going in that game script.
Against that defense.
I'm telling you, I think that game script today shoots out. And listen, I'm not proud. I'll take garbage points. Dallas's defense is terrible. They can't cover anyone.
Who's your running backs?
I have Miles Sanders today, who I think is going to have a big game in Washington.
Okay.
And my other running back is...
you do have your phone. You could call it up and look at it.
Yeah, I was trying to get it from memory because I got so many things going on today. Oh, I have Christian McCaffrey today.
I got mine.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, of course you have Christian McCaffrey.
Yes. So, I feel pretty confident today. Actually, they have me as I think 52% or 48% underdog in terms of the matchups.
Right.
But I don't buy into the matchups.
Well, you do know you're up against the Guru's Guru.
I do.
As the
I do.
GM of the North Saver.
Tommy Knockers.
Knockers.
That's a great name, isn't it?
It's not. It's Tommy, but you're up against a good team. I mean,
Yeah.
who's your opponent? What you got? First of all, what are you up against?
He has got the Vikings and Dalvin Cook.
Oh, so he's got a little bit of a Viking stack going.
Yeah, Devontae Freeman. He's got Moore, Thomas, Cook, Samuel, Zerline, and the Niners defense. Niners defense is hurt today. They're missing a safety. They're missing a corner.
Yeah.
So there's some issues there.
That's that week 14, 15, 16 gooch, man.
Yeah.
It's a long, hard season.
Yeah.
And they want to add a game.
Yeah.
Or two.
My dilemma was
Crazy
this, too, defense. I think I rotated between either the Browns defense, which I had on my roster.
Right.
I went and I picked up Tampa Bay's defense, who I'm going to start today, because I've seen
a crazy person.
their corners have gotten better, and the Lions aren't very good. So that's an opportunistic defense.
Driscoll, is it? Driscoll is their quarterback?
Yeah.
The guy who used to be the backup?
No, isn't
in
it David
Cincinnati?
blah, blah,
Oh,
blah,
David Blau.
blah, blah, whatever
David
it is?
Blau.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
And listen, you can't expect much from David Blau, okay?
That's why I
What
got
is he,
the
their
Bucs defense.
fourth-string quarterback. He was on the taxi squad.
I just think they don't run the ball either. And I think Tampa Bay's corners, even though they're young, they're getting better, and they're playing well. And the last 2 weeks, I think they've created 4 turnovers on defense. So let's hope that happens today, too. So good luck if you're in your fantasy playoffs today, everybody. Hopefully we've helped you in some kind of way during this year, giving you some good advice.
Except if I'm playing against you, then and that's Aldo, and I don't think Aldo watches the show. I hope Aldo doesn't watch the show. I'm gonna beat you, Aldo. I'm gonna beat you.
He may watch the show. So anyway, that's what we got. Good luck, everybody, today. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. On behalf of myself and Matt Demaz, say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye, nice people.
You can catch him on Twitter at
MLB.
MLBJoyUs, at MLBJoyUs on Twitter. You can catch me on Instagram at Gonzo Radio Sports Desk, at Gonzo Radio Podcast. Those are 2 different ones. Follow them both. You're going to want it anyway. And, of course, on Facebook, just type in Gonzo Radio, and you're going to get a plethora of all the stuff that's part of the Gonzo Radio Network. We will be doing Chat Fight tonight, live, back in the studio at 7 o'clock. And then the Gonzo Radio Show, the Gonzo Radio Podcast, coming at you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with special guest comedian Nadeem Awad. Big show coming up on the 20th and the 21st. You're going to find out all about that. So, on behalf of myself and the Maz, thanks a lot for watching. And I'm going to get our fancy ender up, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.